Let me show you how to bring this thing up in a little different way. I need to build this thing. So I'm going to go to Build, Build Solution, and notice it's building, it's compiling, creating the classes needed, and notice it built it. Now I can go to Internet Explorer, and I'm just going to type HTTP, and now I'm going to type the name of my server, and I can just type localhost, and notice it's already here from the previous call. But all I have to do is type in the URL and then hit this, and I have my web service running. Now keep in mind, this right here, the local host, this could be any server anywhere on the internet. And it's used DNS to resolve it. It's used TCP/IP and HTTP to pass that information out there and make the request. Now let's look real quickly here at what's going on in this web service. There are service descriptions and there are contracts built out here called Wsdl, and this is like web service description language. And if I click on service description, this is the Wsdl contract, or this is, and this is also the SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol, and this is the XML version of how this thing is going to be streamed out across HTTP and port 80. Now, you don't want to type this from scratch. There are tools out there to generate these for you, command line prompts and so forth. But notice this is telling that it's going to be a string. It's telling how many minimum occurrences and maximum occurrences we can have for the results and so forth. So that's generated for you, and you'll hear about Wsdl as you get out there and start reading about XML. But now that's basically how to create a web service. Now, real quickly here, let's go create our own. I'm going to do public function, and I'm going to do one called add this, and I'm going to pass a as an integer and b as an integer, and I need to add as integer for our return value. Let me close this so we can see it all. And so there's my function. So now I just need to put in here what I want. So I'm going to dim c as an integer inside my function. Then I'm just going to set c equal to a plus b. And then I'm going to type it out so it makes sense. Return c. Now that's my public function. Now all I have to do is put a signature in front of this to tell it that this is a web method. And notice I will close this, and now this is a web method. First of all, I'll build this solution. We'll see if we get any errors. We didn't. Everything succeeded. So now I'm going to go out to Internet Explorer and request this web service. Notice now, automatically, my add this function is a part of the web service. And it's asking me for A, so I'll put 34 in here, B, which is 56, just making two numbers up. Now when I invoke this, it should add those numbers together and pass it back to me. And there it is. 90 is the answer right here. That's a web service. Now you can see anything that I can code into a function or a subroutine can be made a web service in VisualStudio.net simply by adding this description or this attribute in the front and then compiling it. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to use these things, but then I'm going to explain proxies as well.